Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Sunday in Week 4 of Indie Gaming League's Summer Circuit. This is Week 4, and we have a ones matchup coming your way. So, ones matchup in Tier 7, which is Gold 3 and below. Division 6, if that matters. It's featuring Vicens. Vicens will be taking on Sketties. Vicens is representing Best Buds Club. Sketties representing Hyperspace. And our breakdowns. So Vicens, 3-1, looking for that fourth win. 61 goals for, 59 game win percent. Sketties hasn't played their bye week. So it's only sitting on 2-1, but that's fine. 71 goals for, though, in 3 weeks of play. 64 game win percent. What does that mean? I don't know. 4-2 definitely get you in the playoffs. So Vicens wins, should be qualified. Sketties technically has a loss to give, but they're looking obviously to get to 3-1. Just make their life a lot easier, as you do. So, I think Vicens' stats are deflated a little, only because Vicens has a forfeit win. So, this is game win percent, not match win percent. Rockin' Tiger. So, there's my invite. So, the matchup does, I would probably say, slightly favor Sketties, just kind of based on everything. We're looking at a 3 versus 4 game split here. You throw out Vicens' forfeit win, 2-1. I think 58 goals for. So, there's slightly defensive side. So, it's probably going 5. I don't know. We'll see. This is why we play the games. That's one. So anything can really happen. Now, I have, kind of a zoom in for web pages, but I'm not great with my scene transition. So, here we are. Check in with Discord. Oh, of course. Of course. So we'll see if this holds true. Oh, thank you. Thank you. And this. Again, I love pre-label, pre-overlay. I love when stuff was labeled. Now that we have the overlay, was it up in here? He tries to circle. This just allows me a last second to fix. So again, this is going to be basically a top of the division slugfest. We shall see exactly who's going to come out on top. But probably the generic John Madden advice is keep your mistakes to a minimum. Tier 7 is Gold 3 and below, I believe. Let me work that back. Diamond 3 to 2 is Tier 4. Plat 3 D1 is 5. Yeah. Plat 1, Plat 2 is Tier 6. Gold 3 and below. Tier 7 was added to IGL this season. I was surprised, and then I had to go look up in the rules because it kind of looked like, you know, auto-counting drag down in Excel when the ones divisions were announced. So, and I kind of like that from IGL. There's a banger from the Sins. So what happened here? Sketty might have been trying to read it and couldn't. Or did the Flip of Doom. There's still plenty of time. And anyways, this on the Tier 7. I know it seems weird to like be introducing competition like so low in rank, but I don't know. Again, I think just offering another competitive outlet outside of terrible ranked is always good, no matter what your rank is. Nice block from Vicens. That's a good read there. So, from the opposite side, good patience there by Vicens. Sketty's just missed it on the backboard, and you know, in ones, you are the first and last person there on the field, and like from that perspective, there's no sense necessarily in chasing it there. So Sketty's trying the shadow defense there, but Vicens just kind of timed it. Sketty was just trying to match pace and trying to slow down there, but you know, that's a case of just basically guessing wrong. Vicens should chase that, by the way. Like, he should be chasing any neutral or slightly neutral face-off. Especially when it's in the middle. So Vicens with the fake out there. Again, a lot different to 2s and 3s, just a lot of patience. I love that face-off from Sketty's. Intentionally delaying it. Almost gets the double there off the side. Just slightly ahead in the timing. And if you notice off to the side here, the unfortunate backflip of death. So I'm adopting always a never say never because it's ones. But I think if Vicens gets another one, nice save there from Sketty's. Vicens just backs off, kind of induces Sketty's there to go up. Ooh, nice save from Vicens. Can Sketty's turn it? Ooh, sends it the other way. Unfortunately, just put it wide. And Vicens had an opportunity. So probably as the clock winds down, so we're looking for game two. Like, what's what's the strategy? What's the corrections here? Well, I mean, it's as dumb as it sounds. Like, Sketties just needs to be patient. It's a lot of the things I talk about. Just and make sure your touches are good. All that sounds simple, but Sketties has missed just some touches, very crucial times as well. Visin should probably also heed this advice. That's a good cut. I would also say both players should avoid taking it off the wall. Man, Sketties just can't catch a break, even in game one. That's fine. Just collect yourself, go to game two. If you want to take it off the wall here, go for it. But I'd avoid doing that in, while the game's still close. So, but I mean, it's just game one, and as someone who's week 4, game 1, who's won series with a negative goal differential, Sketties can, win the next 3 by 1 goal and win the series. So, it's just, hey, you made some mistakes. Just put them out of your mind. Correct them. Use patience and just get right back into it. So, game 2. Incoming. Visin's won the first one. Let's see what happens here in game 2. Nice challenge here from Sketties. Can Sketties recover? No. Sins puts that wide. Sketties has a counter. Just needs to get out in front. Almost landed and got Visins. That's good play though. Good heads up. Turns it in. Visins can't keep it out. And Sketty scores. Nice hit. Just puts it wide. Now, so I talk about those neutral faceoffs in the middle. That's what you should actually be doing, if it's kind of in your favor. Because the opponent's always going to be backwards when it rolls into their zone. So just, do your best to line it up. It's the best way to get free goals. So I think Sketties attacked that wrong. Again, I say this, I'm not that much better in ones. I'm plat 1, plat 2. In tier 6. And I'm here in the booth where I can see everything, where on the field I'd be probably following a lot of things up. That's dangerous from the Sins. You need to put power on that. And there's a 51. So yeah, they're in ones, you're almost just better off just letting that ball just roll up the wall and fall down in the corner. Tiger, the one's rank is just like really weird. I think it's so much more volatile. Like, even ignoring your 2s and 3s rank, it's just there's actually like different ways to play 1s. So like, you know, you could be mechanically gifted in 3s, but you could be just crap in 1s, even though like a lot of that, you know, should translate. So here's a wrong pinch. And just on like Sketty's attempt there, those like coming the other way, trying to like cross body it, those are so difficult. Nice, good dribble. Gets the 50 on Vicens. So like, here's sneaky placement. That's great. See, that's like heads up placement on Sketty. Like, Vicens doesn't have, based on angles and everything, Vicens doesn't have much opportunity to turn that ball. This is dangerous. Nice play there from Sketties. Like, Vicens just kind of had to hope there for a favorable bounce. And just like the ball roll up instead of bounce out like that. Yeah, you kind of have to know what you're doing. Vicens is way too far off. Sketty should have flicked it when there was some space. I got one there. So see, this is so many things can change in once. That's kind of that is a somewhat favorable bounce, but again, like, whether attacking or defending, you always have to be there for that. Again, I like what Sketties is doing on the kickoff. So Vicens probably needs to think how he attacks the kickoffs as well too. Didn't get the flick. That's saved by Sketties. Minute to go. Fakes it. We're not quite in range yet, but this best of 5 is turning into a best of 3. I get on the corner. You have to know what you're kind of doing. Otherwise, yeah, it's just, you know, it's actually bad as the offensive player to challenge in the corner, because if that ball goes the other way, you know, you're way out of position where, you know, some weird, you know, pinch in the same manner, that ball just flies across the front goal mouth. So it's kind of like you're looking for a soft pinch out of the corner. Just to catch the defender out. So again, goal differential does not matter. Sketties lost the first one, but is going to win the second one 5-2. Well, like what? -2, -3? Doesn't matter. What counts is those little blue and orange rectangles up top. So we'll wait for time to run out. And Sketties takes game 2. So, tie series. I agree on that. I mean, on the boosting, I mean, that applies to 2s and 3s a lot too. Like, I think this of all modes should get you used to finding the pads. And if you can't find pads, people need to play with Unforgiven more. Usually on the with Unforgiven on the opposite side. Okay, so yeah, that's smart by Vicens. That's the time you go for 100. Nice save. Oh, Sketty's with the 50. That's in the back of the net. Ah. See, smart turn. Tries for the 50. I don't blame Vicens there. Yeah, see, I would have continued on that. Like, Vicens got it really lucky there. I'm not gonna lie. Like, he took the boost, but like that like, he got the goal, and this is like focusing on decisions rather than results. Like, I disagree with taking the boost there because, like, you had an open right net. Like, taking boost isn't going to do anything. There's a cross body, but that was put right at Sketty's. Caught Sketty's going for boost. And this is an attack going the other way. Vicens got lucky there. I don't blame you. Oh, Vicens. Vicens got Sketty's there. Yeah, that's oh, I'm gonna go. Oh no, I'm not going for that. And then suddenly you're caught out. Okay, so that's exactly what Vicens should be doing on those. The problem is he's just put in the wrong place. That's the type of thing where, like, newer players are like, well, why would I ever do that? It's like, I did everything you told me to and I didn't score. Well, it's actually, in that case, is you didn't score because your accuracy sucks. Vicens was trying to get like a dunk 50 there. Giving way too much space here. Nice. Exactly what you want to do. You should attack that. I'm not going to disagree with that. I just thought the first time was the first time he should have gone. Because again, there's not much Sketty's could have done. He's like just banging off the wall. Okay, yeah. So that comes out. That's coming out too hard. So yeah, you just grab boost and see what happens. Yeah, if I was either player, once someone goes to the wall, I just let them do whatever. Vicens gave Sketty so much opportunity to save that. Like, and then just bails there. Like, that's a good flick from Sketty's. That ball looks off, though. Sketty's kind of needs to get off the wall. It does. Vicens. Yeah, that's just smart there. Take your time. I'd be turning a lot earlier. Again, this has to go with like rank. Rank it. I don't know what Sketty's is in 2s and 3s, but Vicin's is tier 4. So like, you know, I'm not saying it just like kind of shows, but like, you know, in the decision making, there's just like some slight hesitation. Hey, Morty. Oh, work sucks. It's called work because all the other 4-letter words were taken, including golf. Yeah, I'd just take all the boost. I won't get too far. I wouldn't have gotten too far off that. Again, it kind of like worked out for Vicens. Just because like that's a case of like you know that your opponent has no boost. Yeah, now Sketty's has to go up and get that off the wall, just to try and like settle it. Favorable bounce? No. All right, so that's a 1-goal game that time. In favor of Vicens. So Vicens goes to match point. It's going to get 2 cracks at it. Like, that's essentially virtually even. Just missing 100 points. Like, Sketty's goal is, you know, a goal's worth 100 points, be 941. So, like, they played each other in it even there. So, like, despite, you know, I say despite all, like, the goal thumping, like, you know, none of that matters. It's just the colored lights at the top of the scoreboard. So, again, both players know what they need to do. Like, the mistakes were actually kind of kept to a minimum there for both sides. And it, you know, kind of showed in the play. So it was a much more... that one was definitely a much more cerebral game. Nice there. See, that is why you attack that ball on the faceoff. It's... you just... there are... having been dunked on so many times in ones as a result of that, like, that is exactly why you do that. Yeah, I would try and bang that. Sketty's didn't get enough power on that. But it's the right idea. Vicens gets a favorable 50, but I think Sketty's is going to be back first. Yeah, there's... yeah. Yeah, you can kind of see, like, to go back... Tiger, go back to your earlier point. You can kind of see everyone chasing orbs like they're tennis balls and they're a golden retriever. Oh, that's unfortunate. See, that's smart. Vicens wasn't going to get much. Sketty just needs to walk that in. That's a tie game. If there's not a lot of power there, that if Vicens was flying, that's a very dangerous challenge, by the way. And positioning would have completely mattered because you need to just completely block the ball. Good challenge from Vicens. Vicens. Nice save from Sketty's. Dribble. Kind of got it a little bit away. On those, you should be trying to be put them more than that. Vicens gets a favorable bounce though. Oh, in the face off, yeah. On the on the face-off goal that Vicin scored, it was also just like flipping the block. And Sketty's flip was good as well on his goal. That's a mistouch from Sketty's. That's dangerous. Sins gets a good pinch for the clear. Nice save. Here's a good counter. Sketty ties it back up. Just a nice simple block there. And Sketty goes the length of the field. 2-2, this is game 4. The Sins on match point. Yeah, on my end, the one thing I'm working on is trying to figure out when a flip will do and when a block will do, by jumping. There's a nice 50 from Sketty's. Oh, mistouch. Mistouch, that is rough. That is rough. But you can kind of, again, yeah. Yeah, you can go for side. You're perfectly fine going for side. You can see, like, the Sins hesitate there. Again, just going, like, for the golden tennis balls. You can kind of see both players are kind of hesitating, trying to figure out what to do. That's unfortunate. Sketty's trying to push out to the side and just kind of mistouches it. Super delayed face-off from Vicins. I just throw that in front of the net. Well, almost gets around Sketty's. Sketty's knows what they need to do. A minute is a long time in one zone. And Sketty's with the delay. Nice play there. Yeah, Vicins just end up chewing up a lot of their bruise. Had to price themselves in. Sketty's kind of hesitated on the face-off, but then did exactly what they needed to do there. And just formed a plan of attack. But Vicins with a boomer. We've gotten 3 here in about less than 30 seconds, so there's plenty of time here. But Sketty's is down by 1, looking to force game 5. And Sketty's with the 50. Yeah, like, I wouldn't have challenged. If it was me, I wouldn't have challenged that ball there. I would just tried to force Sketty's into just hitting it. Because it's like, you're down by 1. A bad challenge A bad read, and Vicens threw this game away. Like, again, like, in ones, it's column A and column B. Like, there's a lot of your opponent screwing up. Oh, what was that? I don't understand that. Oh. Wow. I suspect, like, you do that face-off when your opponent scores and you're still up by 4. Nice save from Vicens. So Vicens misses. Sketties just needs to take their time, and does. We got game 5 here. That is a very risky challenge there from Vicens. We got game 5 here. Oh, okay, that's understandable. Well, we got game 5 here. Oh, Tiger, that's just mean. All right, well, game 5 here. So throw everything out. Five minutes and whatever happens in overtime, if there is any. And is that? No. But that's a good follow-up. That favors Vicens. So. Man, I love what's happening on the field in face-offs. Like they're just crawling up to it now almost. It's probably too late for like the fast kickoff to happen. That's a banger from Sketties. Going up, but that is pretty much well struck. It's not perfectly struck. Well, maybe it is, actually, because it was put away from Vicens. I take that back. That was perfectly struck. Because it just made Vicens go the length of as much as the length of the field as possible. So Sketties has tied it back up. Vicens with the challenge. Trying to block Sketties. Cannot. That ball's going the other way. Sketties looking to turn in. Just going to play it off the side. There's a 50 from Sketties. It does go all the way over. That's something you got to take your time on. That's a bad. So that's a good corner pass in 2s and 3s. Nice save there from Sketties. Good read. See, there you can go for boost. Like we've been hounding both players about boost. Like Vicens was so far backed off that Sketties could go for boost. Oh, just didn't turn it in. So I think the mental attribute of like game sense and awareness is going to come in big here. I don't fault Sketties for slightly slow playing that. You just want to make sure it's on. There is a case there to, you know, just try and bang it on net. So there's a very super aggressive challenge, and Vicens punishes that. So like Sketty's also just on there, like pointing out, Sketty's threw that ball away too. Like, if you know you have no boost, just try and put it sideways as much as possible. Put up the wall, that way you can grab the mid and, you know, get back going. Oh, there's a miss. And Skate sends it the other way. Bringing it in through the corner like that always favors the defender. So you have to be really in control. And there's, you know, you have to actually employ patience. So, 1:55 left here in Game 5. It's tied up. That's a nice hit from Sketties. Vicens puts it in the corner. That's not the worst thing. Oh! Sketties finds post. So again, ball kind of thrown away there. 50 that time goes in Vicens' favor, but Sketties is going to get there. Yeah, that's smart there by Vicens. Vicens only just touches it away. Ball comes back into the corner. Now see? Didn't want to say anything. See, yeah, you just put it up. And as a defender, what you kind of need to do there is you need to make up your mind how you're attacking it. But, like, oh, there's a face-off. We're back to a tie game. This is good comment on Sketties is, like, his angle was kind of, like, just kind of a not good approach. So it left him vulnerable to that. If he kind of swung in wide, he would have had a chance to go up and block Vicens. And Sketties almost throws it away, and Vicens misses. Like, face-off goals are part of ones. It's a banger, and ooh, that's a mistouch. Vicens steers it away. Oh, there's a miss. Well, 7 seconds in a dream for Vicens. Just misses. That favors Vicens. It's Vicens. It's I don't know about that. A lot of it is based on this is like a lot of it's just based on what your opponent does. Like a lot of ones is actually just you scoring off your opponent's mistakes because you had, Tiger's right. You're still learning. I mean, I'm still learning because I don't know how many games of ones I have under my belt. But a lot of it is it's column A and column B. To be honest, like it's part of it is you have to punish your opponent's mistakes, and on the flip side, letting your opponents make those dumb mistakes. So it's kind of like you have to be good and you have to be patient, and obviously same thing goes the opponent. Your opponent has to put your mistakes away and just has to wait sometimes on your mistakes. So like that's a lot of ones when you break it down to is it's your fault. It doesn't matter how the ball goes in. Yeah, I mean like that. I get mad at myself when that happens, but I do look at it and I just say is that I have to put that ball away. And then on the flip side is like, your opponent, even if they walk it in, like they recognized everything, they didn't like rush the play or anything, and they just walked it down all the field. Like it's again it sucks, but I think part of the thing that makes that improves you is you recognize how you're effing up, and you just say, I gotta quit doing that, and then like, because it's just like if I, the easiest way to put it is if I make this mistake, my opponent is probably good enough to put it away, and that's what it's. No, Tiger, there won't be anything until, is it 9 or 10? Is it 10 Eastern? Yeah, it's 10 Eastern. So, I mean, I'm down to play some games. I'd also just like to show here, like again, goal differential does not matter. I call this an Enderwin. Opponent wins despite being down on goals. And that's, again, kind of like the beauty of ones. Again, like, yeah. Also, yeah, the sense, again, definitely from these do as I say, not as I do. Just like, you can get mad at everything, but just brush it off. Because there's just so many times in ones. And your opponent, like, for whatever reason, was the Mafia a couple of times. Just inexplicably. Whether just, messing up the face-off or whatnot. Which happens. But those are, like, crucial mistakes. That's like the times where you don't really want to be trying to hit the home run is when you're up. So it's all, it's all the complete package. It's just, I say it's just like, be smart with your hit, be smart with your touches, like, know your limits, and then just, it's like, in a ways, if you control what you can control, which is what you do, and then just exercise the patience, like you can beat your opponent, because like you could both play perfectly, but it's just sometimes it just comes down that one little thing, whether it's a 50, it's a face off, it's a missed touch, and then that ball's in the back of the net. So it's just like it's just like controlling what you can control, and then not sweating like what happens. And then sometimes the face-off gods just sometimes aren't kind to you sometimes, and you lose, and that's once. But that's my advice. Again, you both you and your opponent played pretty well. It's it also just came down to the mistakes. So, you know, I would say it's just like, again, watch the challenges. You know, figuring out when the challenge is. You know, again, I say this as someone who's garbage on challenges sometimes in ones. You know, and you'll be fine. It's just figuring everything out. I'm going to fade to black for a second. Also, all the advice I'm giving is just kind of based on my own experience. Like, I've been giving similar feedback based on what I see in, like, the green. I used to be able to beat green, now I can't. You know, because I'm down here in, you know, basically in the middle of the pack based on how everything is, so. But, we'll go ahead and wrap this up. The result in 5, Sketties. I should have this back up. Sketties takes it in 5. Vicens won the first one, 7-0. Sketties responded. 3 gold victory. Vicens won in overtime here, I think. Then lost in OT. And then late, that was a late goal from Sketties to seal it. So that'll go ahead and do it. Coming up tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern. I don't know where this is going to be yet. We might have to get out the tarp and figure it out from there. But Red Bulls is playing Shuriken East. It's going to be some weird matchup between Tank and myself. Again, we'll figure out where it needs to be. It's either going to be here, Tank's channel, Tankert, TANKURT89, or on Shuriken Esports channel, which I don't know off the top of my head. I know that Tank usually broadcasts on his own channel. But I guess, like, Epic Showdown of this proportion could end up on Shuriken's main channel. But, like, I'm sure we'll announce it in everybody's Discords because Dilly says don't at everyone, and then we'll at everyone for this match. But we'll figure it out and let everyone know. You know. But we haven't decided how we're going to do it. I'm personally leaning for is we just book it in the same channel and just broadcast as if the either isn't there and just talk over each other the entire time. We probably won't do that. We'll figure out something though. Yeah. But anyways, thank you all for watching. We'll see you tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern. Have a good one.